Somebody in the way, battling, having got in way of the attempted clearance. Jim Gannon. Oh, great flick on by Alan Armstrong. Oh, what a beauty! Oh, what a beauty!
It's against Bradford, but here's Warburton!
Yes!
Oh! And then trying to manufacture the shot, gets it away! Yeah!
Not got it clear. Please, sir! It's a cracker!
Armstrong played in the game and a superb goal.
Tony Diddy. Stockport County are the champions of League Two.
Hello and welcome to the Scarf Bagara War, a Stockport County podcast for fans by fans in partnership with Edgeley Conservative Club Coaches. It's that time of the week again where we delve deep into the county happenings and the week's chat, and we'll chat crap about it. Got that bit wrong, didn't I? Anyway, we've got Waggie and Lauren. How's it going?
Yeah, not bad. Not too bad. Nice to be back. Nice and quick turnaround. I love it.
Well, welcome back.
Thank you.
What about you, Waggie? How's your week been?
Busy. As you can see, I am not in the lodge. I am in new surroundings. So I am in Ireland in County Mayo, which I thought was made up. I'll be honest. County mayonnaise. Just like, what? But I am over here working, so I've been busy. Just about managed to get back in time to be able to do the podcast. So I know I'm in Ireland and I've got a Guinness glass, but I'm just drinking lager because I've already had a Guinness over there and drank it very quickly because I was thirsty. So I'm just on lager because Guinness won't sit there well, will it, for an hour? Probably
not. This is where when you're a man by yourself working away, this is what happens. You just drink all the time, don't you? I've experienced it myself. It's what happens.
Yes. Yeah, and that's why when I'm away working, I like to work long hours because it keeps me out of the bar.
Very sensible. Very sensible. Lauren, welcome back.
Yes, thank you for having me back. You know, popular demand got me back here, so thank you to you listeners for getting me back. I love it. Absolutely.
I think you definitely raised the IQ stakes, the average on the podcast. Any ideas why it's called County Mayo? Is that where mayonnaise comes from? Surely not. Or is it completely different? Is that completely different?
I'm gonna say yes, because why not? I mean, is anyone gonna fact check me? I don't know.
Probably
I'll pull the Cambridge card, and I'm sure everyone will believe me.
It depends. If it's a fact about County Mayo or Ireland or anything like that, if it's non-county, you won't get fact checked. If it's county, yeah, there's going to be fact checking going on. Yeah. Let's just say that. Good stuff. Right. Well, on the agenda tonight, then. There is loads on the agenda. So we got Paul Milligan to bring out, who's a fan guest. He was on the Courtyard Club call not long ago, but he's going to come onto this one for his debut. Talk about Charlton, have the auto slipped away, who makes the top six, bit of a Tuesday fixture roundup. When will Brekie be ready to start a match? We'll have a chat about that. Where's these EP developments as well? We do have a listener's letter to talk through as well, which is quite exciting, isn't it?
I don't know. It depends what it says. It depends how much it points a finger at me.
It doesn't point a finger at anybody. This particular person though does email me quite a bit, and just for a chat really. And he always does start off with, "I enjoyed this week's crap that you and Waggie talked." You know, that's generally how he starts starts his emails with.
Actual, I like a good starts a letter with a fact. That's fine.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, and then just dive in, and we'll look at all the comments that are coming in. Do get your comments in. We'll talk about Bolton a bit on Saturday. There is no opposition guest tonight. I spoke with Matt from Lion of Vienna podcast today, and that will be out at 10 o'clock this evening. So get that listened to as well. Shall we get our fan guest out?
let's.
Absolutely.
Let's. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, Russ, Waggie, Lauren.
Evening, Paul.
Hello.
Absolute pleasure.
Good. It's a pleasure to have you on for your debut.
I'm
think
not
we
sure.
should.
I mean, you talked. Sorry, Russ. You talked about Lauren raising the IQ. I'm here to drag it back down again.
I'm sure that's not true, Paul. Having spoken to you in the past.
Okay.
Let's go with that.
Okay, we'll go with that then.
He talks a good job.
Right. Shall we do the debut questions then? So, probably giving your age away here, but when was your first game?
It was AFC Wimbledon in 2022. So only a couple of seasons ago. I know I'm one of these newfangled Stockport County fans. However, I am married to one of those old-fangled Stockport County fans. My wife has been a fan since she was 9 years old. So,
Right.
Born and bred. I'm unfortunately not. I'm a Rochdale lad, and I've slipped slightly down the M60, but quite happy to be here. So yeah, Wimbledon 2022. I think it was a win. I remember bringing my son along with a lot of the dads from school and their kids. Met, had a pint, had a pie. Back when the pies were really good. Oh no, I shouldn't have said that. And been hooked ever since.
Nice. Well, old or new fans, it doesn't matter. Everybody's welcome. So yeah, good stuff.
You know what? That's what I've found with Stockport County. It's a very welcoming, very friendly, very family-orientated club, and we've loved being part of it. Season ticket holders now over in the pop side, so you can't get rid of us now.
Nice in the pop side.
Yeah,
I love it. So, well, we'll talk about the EP developments then. I could go into the pop side, then we could sort of start talking about that. We'd be here all bloody night if you let me. So, second question then. Favorite game. So, just before your first game, we beat Wimbledon, didn't we? Was it Odin Bailey 1-0? Was it?
No, I think it was Mr. Horsefall.
Oh right.
Early on. Oh yeah, it was right at the start of the first half. I think he scored about 11 minutes in, 11 minutes in, something like that. We really didn't know anything about the team. It was one of those you kind of going, yeah, this is great, but I want to find out more. I want to be more involved. I want to learn as much as I possibly can, because it's, you know, when you get passionate about something, you want to just glean as much information as you possibly can. Hence the reason I ended up on listening to you lot talk.
Nice. Nice.
It was Fraser Horsefall. It was in the 11th minute when he scored.
I thought it was early. Yeah.
Sweet. Thanks for fact checking that.
I've got FOTMob open. That's all. That's why.
Nice. Nice.
It's not a moment of inspiration that I've just plucked.
Proof that any county fact will get fact checked.
Oh God,
yes.
Yeah.
Proof in the
that's
pudding.
why I had to use FOTMob, because I'm shit at facts.
So, Paul, favorite game?
Favorite game was the season after. We became seduced with the whole documentary series, you know, on Amazon and on Netflix and stuff like that. And I don't want the klaxons to go off. I don't want the sirens to go off. But we started watching, really before we started back into county, that god-awful programme. So my favourite game was the win against those people from North Wales. The 5-0. I think it was September. It was the end of September because it was around my wife's birthday. And I tell you what, Ryan Reynolds could not have given my wife a bigger gift than his team or their team capitulating in the way that they did. It was brilliant. I absolutely loved it. Couldn't speak afterwards. Don't think I've cheered so much at Stockport, well, at any sporting occasion for a very, very long time. That was me. That's definitely my favourite game. Watching that, John Kieran, was it Tozer? After I think the fourth, fifth goal, and I think John Kieran says something like they're having a conference in the centre. They're having a conference in the centre of the field. Loved it.
Yeah,
just want to do it again in 2 weeks' time.
Well, yeah, we'll see about
that.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, good strong choice.
That's my favourite one.
Cool. Favorite goal?
Favourite goal that I've heard, unfortunately wasn't there, was Callum Camp's right foot screamer against Forest Green.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah. I thought listening to it, had to see it. Couldn't wait for the because I unfortunately don't get to go abroad to watch the games. I have to stay here. I'm generally working on a Saturday morning anyway. So nice to see the goal later on. But I think the best goal that I've seen is Mr. Barry's the Cambridge goal at the start of this season. Instinct, cheekiness, and the whole build-up of him coming back to the club, first game out, and he does something like that. Could have cried.
Yeah.
Could have cried. It was one of those perfect moments.
Yep.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, I was asked by somebody what was my favourite Barry goal this season, because he scored 16, didn't he? And I said that one because it would just set him off, didn't it? And it was such a good instinctive goal.
Yeah. The little flick on by Woods, he cuts in from the left and hits it, and you're like, that's never going in. It's never going in. Oh my God, it's gone in.
Good stuff. And then final one, right? Favourite player, but I've come to realise, and this might be a get in the res, is this, that it's an opinion that grown adults should not have a favourite player, current favourite player. You might have had one when you were a kid, but you shouldn't have one now. I don't know how I feel about that. But anyway, Paul, have you got a favourite player, or as your? I know you've got a lad, I think, haven't you?
Yes. Yeah. My little lad.
Has he got a favourite player? Anyway, yeah.
He does. Yeah. In fact, actually, it's over here. My son's favourite player. Counts.
Nice.
I think when the first game, he watched him, and because I was a number 8, my son went, "Oh, Camps, great, good player group." And you know what? I know I shouldn't have a favourite, but I'm going to say Callum Camps as well. I think he's immense. I might be 50, but I'm a big kid at heart, and he still still makes me
not wrong with that.
Smile. But my wife's favourite player. So if I'm going to go past, my wife's favourite player was Kevin Francis. She idolised him. And when Mr. Bellis took him on the pub tour, they actually went round some of the local boozers.
Yeah,
my wife used my son as the as a crutch to kind of go, we'll go and say hello, let's go. And we got a photograph of the three of them stood there, and my wife, she's just beaming, absolutely beaming. So past Kevin Francis, although I never saw him play, but currently, yes, it's Mr. Camps.
Very nice. Very nice. Good stuff. Good choices. So I'll clearly stick around, get involved in the chat. Let's move on. We've got a lot to get through, so I don't think we can spend too much time on each subject. But let's start with Charlton on Saturday, which is probably a great place to start because there's not that much to talk about. Lauren, start with you. What did you make of the game on Saturday? To me, it felt like two good teams going at each other, just ended up sort of petering out. What did you make of it?
Yeah, so I was lucky enough to go on holiday and watch the game, although, it was just quite early for me as a student. So how much my memory serves me is yet to be seen after a Friday. But I thought that the first half I wasn't that wowed by, I'll be honest. I think a lot of people have a very similar opinion, but I think that it did just feel like there wasn't really anything in the game. I think it just screamed of a 0-0, to be honest, from everything that I saw. It was very much a case of balancing each other out. That's that. I don't really have much else to say about it. There was not really any point of that game that I was like, yeah, that's a moment in this game. It was very much a game to me that was just like, that was 90 minutes of my life. Yeah. Sorry, I can't be more optimistic about it, to be honest.
No, that's fine. I think a lot of that's been a reaction to a lot of people. Waggie, I know you were there with me. What did you think of it?
It was. As Dave Challoner said, it felt like a playoff first leg, didn't it? Nobody wanted to take the chance, and they talked about it on the club call, didn't they? They mentioning that's the way it was, and that's the way it seemed to me, is that we didn't take a chance. But you just sort of hoped that one of the sort of half chances that we had, when Wotton spun and just stuck his leg out almost, didn't he? And he bounced off the crossbar. If that had gone in, I don't see us losing it if that had gone in, because Charlton would have had to have come out and played against us, wouldn't they? And I think that would have suited us more. And I think it just nobody wanted to make a mistake. Nobody wanted to take the game by the scruff of the neck, and that's it. Just seemed like a playoff first leg to me. It was just a bit, but I didn't think I didn't really rate their fans. I didn't hear their fans for 7 minutes.
Waggie, are you sure you're allowed to comment on away fans? Have you been approved for that?
I've been approved. Yeah, I've got it written in the back of my shirt. It says it there. Can't see it, but I've got it said. But no, I don't think there were absolutely nothing, because for a lot of the game I didn't see any even clapping or any interaction or anything. I don't know if anybody else noticed that, but for me, they were terrible.
Do you know what I put that down to? I put that down to them having a really good run. I think they've lost 1 in 16 before that. I think that's right. Or is that Blackpool? They were the form team, weren't they? And I think when they came and they quickly realised that they weren't going to have it all their way, and we were matching them, if not more than matching them. Even in that drab first half, we were more than matching them. We had them at arm's length to a certain extent. There's probably 1 or 2 flashes from them. I thought, my feeling was they were thinking, oh shit, we've got a game here. And I think they were a bit surprised by that. That was my thinking. There's a couple of comments coming in here that I just want to flash up for you. Mark Morley, was neither team wanted to lose game. I think that's probably right, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think you're right. It was very drab. It was very. You're right. It was at arm's length. However, at arm's length, we seemed to do a lot of wrestling. There was a lot of tugging and pulling, and we went in wholeheartedly as far as defending was concerned. And I think that upset them. I think that kind of put them on the back foot. It's like, we're going to have a battle here. We should turn up and we should win this easily. and a couple of tackles in, you could see them go, mm. And it happens. You see teams that just go, I don't want this, guys. Not bothered about this. Don't want to, we don't want to battle. Percentage-wise, we were well on top, like 60, 70% of the possession, but didn't seem to create anything. There was no, even though we were going forward, there was no getting to the byline, getting the crosses in or taking the shots and anything like that. It was just a bit meh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've found that in a few of our most recent games that, like, if you actually look at the stats, we are on top. But I don't know whether it's I'm going in thinking we'll do more with what we have, but I always come out of it feeling really surprised by the stats that we get, because I'm like, it doesn't feel like we've had that much possession, or I don't know if it's just the feeling I get when I'm watching the game, but it feels like all of the time that we're losing it or we're not actually doing anything with it. And so it actually feels like we haven't had as much possession as we've had, or as many shots as we actually probably do in the end of the game. I've found that at least, last 2 or 3 games, I've sort of looked at the stats at the end of the final whistle and gone, really? We had that much possession, or we had that many chances, or whatever. So I'd agree with that.
Yeah. I always think there's 2 ways of looking at a game. There's probably more than that, but in my simple mind, there's 2 ways. You can look at the stats, which I like to do, or you can look at it from your eyeballs, almost like aesthetically what it looks like. And I think the two don't always marry up, do they? I mean, we're being told all season from other podcasts that the underlying data tells us that we're just behind Birmingham when it comes to the numbers. Do you know what I mean? In terms of the positive numbers, let's say. But you just don't see it, especially in the last 3 games. Should we say?
Yeah. Blackpool.
So it's kind of worrying. Somebody's put in the comments actually that I think it's Andy. We should have won it simply based on the second half. I kind of agree, really, because like Charlie said, you've got to take those moments of quality, and nobody really stepped up, did they? I'm going to take it by the scruff of the neck and pull that quality out. Yeah.
And I think, as the comment from before, is that neither team wanted to lose it. We looked not necessarily had a rocket up their arses at half time, but we certainly upped it, didn't we, in the second half? I'm sick of talking about it, but the referee, I don't get it, and I'm not sure if it was. I haven't had a chance to watch the highlights, so I don't know if it was a penalty on Camps. And obviously, sat in the Cheadle end and him being at the railway end, it was an absolute stonewall penalty. It should have been given every day of the week, but I was 100 yards away, so I can't really. I'm not sure if it was. It looked it, but obviously being miles away, can't say whether it was or not. He just let everything go, didn't he? He was I think they said it on the Courtyard Club call as well. He was consistently crap for both teams. Just let everything go. But it was just it was also the consistency. Like their number 7, he got the ball. He was flagged offside, and then he decided that he'd carry on and kick the ball. As Charlie said 4 months ago, that would have been a yellow card, instant yellow card. He's kicked the ball away, and he didn't get anything. So you need to have that consistency of the referees. And I'm sick of talking about the referees. And I know we have a referee that watches and gives us feedback on our comments about referees.
quite right as well. He's quite right.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. Yeah, absolutely. But that's the most frustrating part, is that you would think in League One that you have the consistency between, referee A, referee B. They should be pretty much consistent between them. And it's just not, is it? I didn't think that we'd have. There he is. Darren, I'm saying nothing.
Darren Bowden, our resident ref, says I'm saying nothing. So Lauren, from wherever your holiday destination was it a penalty from your perspective? Yeah.
I mean, can I even remember the penalty shouts? Is the question.
That says a lot then, doesn't it?
It was quite
Yeah,
early, so obviously still from last night.
Yeah,
From the evening before.
yeah. I was jet lagged. I was jet lagged. No, it wasn't something that I was immediately like, that's definitely a penalty. Although I've never ever been any good at calling them. I love giving a foul where there's not a foul. So, and I also love I love a little bit of a physical game. I like when things are sliding a little bit. So my calling on what is not a foul is famously horrendous. But I wasn't there and going, that's definitely a penalty. So from that, and obviously it's harder seeing on a screen as well, because you're not actually getting the angles and it's not always the best angle. But I wasn't convinced it was definitely a penalty. So nor was my friend that I was watching
Paul?
it
with.
Right.
From my point of view, on the pop side, it looked like he clipped his own heels. Just as the defenders like leaning into him, I think he clips his own heels. But what made us all think it was a penalty was the fact that the referee pointed straight away towards the spot.
Yeah.
He was clearly giving it as a goal kick, but it looked from all angles that he was pointing directly at the penalty spot, as though to say, yeah, it's a penalty. So we're all cheering, thinking, oh, it's great, we've got a penalty. Hang on a minute, no, he's given a... Hang on, what's he done? So the inconsistency comes back into there, doesn't it? We deserve, sorry, Waggie, we deserve consistency.
Yeah.
Just like some teams deserve wins. You expect a level of consistency across the leagues, across the officiating, and for him to make that motion, you think, it isn't there. That consistency isn't. The only thing he was consistent at was keeping Maka going backwards to take the throw-ins. Every time Maka went to take the throw-in, no, back there, back there. That was the only consistent thing I think he did.
Okay, let's move on from the refs. I don't want to talk about the refs. I tweeted dead early on. Have we got another? I wanted to borrow our friends at Grimsby DN35. They've got a shit ref klaxon. I wanted to borrow that. I asked if we could borrow that dead early on. But let's not talk about the refs. They're pretty fair, I think, generally over the course of the game. I mean, we've managed to pick out a really interesting part there, which is the penalty. Loads of people have commented, some saying inconclusive, some saying just a tangle of legs. Tangle of legs. Gazendo, right, Gaz, he says, last word on this actually, about the penalty, why does Camps go down, closing in on goal, and if the defender played the ball, why was it then not a corner? So that's a really good point to make. But I think overall, no team did enough to win the match anyway, so it's kind of a moot point, isn't it? So yeah. So 0-0 on Saturday. I can't remember what the other teams did. I think did they all win? I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure around us. Have the automatics slipped away? Yes or no? Yes or no, and then a reason why. So have the automatics slipped away from County? Paul.
Oh, why would you come to me? I'm going to get invited.
Just because I'm just mixing it up. I'm just mixing it up.
I unfortunately would say yes. I think it has slipped away from us ever so slightly. When you look at, we know that Birmingham are going to run away with it. You look at the fact that Wickham are sitting there with the game in hand, level on points with them. They'll potentially win. They'll pick up their extra win. I think the top six, I think we're pretty much set. I know that there's going to be those tweaks and those little bit we could go up, go down, but I think that top six is pretty much set. If we can be in the playoffs, brilliant. This is a bonus on what we're expecting, I think, this year. But I think going automatically up, I think, is a little bit out of our reach now. Unfortunately, don't shoot me or cut me off or whatever. Sorry.
No. Everyone's entitled to their opinion here, and you're in a safe space. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I mean, Waggie, Lauren, who wants to go next? Yes or no, and then your reason.
Well, I was pointed out last time that I'm an optimist and I should come back because of my optimism. I'm going to say something that's a bit rogue here. Well, I don't think it's that rogue. I don't think the autos were ever for us. I know, mathematically they are grabbable. I get that. And I like the optimism sort of drive that it gives the club and the fans. It is an aim, and we will still try and drive for it. But honestly, I always thought that aiming for one of the playoff places was the aim, and to stay in the playoffs. That's not what I tell my Cambridge United fan friends. I make a joke that we're going to go up autos and they're going to go down, and it's all ha-ha. But honestly, I never really saw us getting the autos. But I like the idea of it, but I don't think that it's for us.
Fair dues. Yeah. Waggie?
Absolutely. We can go up automatically. Why not? There's still 30 points to play for. I understand what you said, Lauren, is that at the beginning of the season, yes, I was never expecting us to go up automatically. I would have been quite happy with a top 10 finish. I'd have loved to have been in the playoffs, but now we're in this position. We have got 10 games left, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, 10 games.
30 points available. We're 6 points behind. We play Wickham, we play Wrexham, we play Bolton, play Huddersfield. So if we can take points off them, then why can't Charlie do what he normally does at the end of the season, and we go on a winning run? So there's absolutely no way that we cannot make automatics. We cannot go up automatically. I still think we are in with a shout of it. We can. So 10 games to go, all to play for. If we win every game, we're going up. Simple.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Fair dues. So, yeah. No. Yeah.
Ross.
Yeah.
Ross, what do you think? Because we're potentially we're the negative half down here. So I'm looking up.
Russ is a pessimist. Russ will be saying we'll get relegated or we'll finish this outside.
Where's this come from? Right, that I'm a pessimist. I'm not. I just work with what I've got.
Realist.
Realist. Yeah. No. I think it is too much. Yeah, I don't think we'll get autos. I think Wickham and Wrexham are gonna push each other for that. And the reason why I say that is because I'm just looking at the fixtures we've got left. We've got Wickham, Wrexham, and Bolton, all three away to play. And they're no easy places to go. Wickham on the last day, by all accounts. Huddersfield at home. 3 mid-table teams at home, Stevenage, Lincoln, and Rotherham. They're all sat 12th, 13th, and 14th, respectively. Because they've got nothing to play for, they could come and do something. We're not immune to a good hiding at home, are we? Leyton Orient and Wickham. Then we've got Exeter away, Peterborough away, and Burton at home. So I don't know. I just feel like I think it's just out of reach. But that said, I get asked a lot on other podcasts, what was our expectations? And I've always said 12th or above would be happy with it. You sort of recalibrate, don't you, as the season goes along. And now we're in the playoffs. I will not accept falling out of the playoffs. We have to be in the playoffs. Because it could, and here's my pessimism coming out now, Waggie, just chill out a second. If we start to lose matches and go on a bad run, which we don't tend to do under Charlie, do we? We could drop out. We're not far from dropping out, are we, either?
No, we're not. But I don't see us dropping out. If you want to talk about if you want to say about form and stuff like that, we've dropped a few points, but we're still picking points up and stuff. So I don't see us dropping out the playoffs. Some other teams like Huddersfield now are on a bad run, aren't they? They've dropped out.
Yeah,
They've dropped out.
sacked the manager as well, didn't they? So,
yeah,
yeah.
That's what I mean. They're like in the playoffs and they've sacked the manager. It's just what? Really?
Yeah, I know it's mad, isn't it?
that's absolute madness. But no, I don't see why not. Why we can't go up automatically. As you say, we've got to play those teams. We've got to play the mid-table teams that maybe haven't got anything to play for, which might come out and try and play against us. But I think we've shown this season that we play better against teams that want to play football against us. Your teams like Cambridge and Northampton that just want to sit in and just have that like low block and just try and hit us on the break and stuff. That's where we tend to struggle to try and break teams down. But if a team comes and starts wanting to play football and is a little bit more expansive, then I think that really, really suits us playing against them. For us doing high press, counter attacking, I think that really suits us. So those teams that come that have got nothing to play for might be more expansive, and that suits us. I think the next two games are the big ones, aren't they? Yeah. If we can get 6 points from Bolton and Wrexham, then we're definitely on. And I feel that there's going to be jeopardy on that last game away at Wickham. I just feel that that's going to be, maybe that's the one that decides who goes up automatically.
Ooh.
And I'll be an absolute wreck. Or I'll be too pissed to actually like realise.
To realise what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you alluded to it before, Paul. We'll move on to the top six. So the top six at the moment we know is Birmingham, Wickham, Wrexham, Charlton, County, Bolton. Does anybody else come in and upset that? So you got Huddersfield, Reading, Leighton, Orient on the periphery. I think we can kind of. I don't know if we can. Do we forget about Barnsley and Blackpool? They are in the 50s in terms of points.
Yeah.
Are you? Is that what you're going for? Is that the settled six you're thinking?
I think so. Yes. Looking at the teams just below that, looking at the 7, 8, 9, 10, those sort of levels, there are teams that are on a bit of a kick. I think Reading at the moment look like they're creeping up there a little bit.
Yeah.
But if I remember right, I think they drew at the weekend. So there are teams where they're kind of creeping up, and then all of a sudden they get a bit of a nosebleed and go, hang on a minute, I think we're about as high as we can possibly get. And I just see us sitting in that. Like you say, Waggie, these next couple of games are huge, really, for us to kind of pick up points and secure ourselves within that six. Even if we don't pick up a win, if we can pick up a point away from home at some of these places, it would be great to think that we get 30 points out of the next 10 games. But just picking up ones here, picking up the threes at home, picking up those little ones against tough oppositions away from home, it just secures us to sit within that six. And I don't see anybody really pushing into that without some amazing run. I think like we'll put our feet in some nice slippers, keep our feet warm, and just sit in that top six.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No idea.
Yeah. Okay, Lauren, can you see anybody? Is anybody sort of piquing your interest in terms of coming in and maybe upsetting the apple cart?
I mean, I think my main thing at the moment is that, I mean, like Reading, for example, aren't on a bad run of form, right? They're unbeaten in at least 6. It might even be more than that. I could just see up to 6. But that would make you think that you've got a bit of form behind them, a bit of confidence. We all know what that does to a team. But I don't think that there's anyone in the top 6 that's going to go on a bad enough turn for that to be important, if that makes sense. I think that
Yeah.
it might be close, and if anyone's going to do it, I probably would say Reading would maybe try and sneak in there, but I don't really think there's anyone that threatens the top 6 enough. I think this probably won't be the positions we find the top 6 in by the time we finish the season. I mean, very biasedly, I'd want us to. Well, I expect us to finish 4th. We've been there for a long part this season. We've just dropped down. We're just trying to see the league from a different viewpoint. Get a bit of a different angle. But we're going to go back up to 4th when we realised we were there for a reason. I'm going to stay there. That's my prediction. That's my hopeful prediction anyway. But I just don't think that there's anyone that threatens the top 6 enough to push them out. I know there's actually only 3 points in it, and so technically Bolton could drop down in one game. I know that is mathematically the case. But yeah, just to me, I don't think anyone's that threatening.
Yeah, fair dues. I don't know. Someone's just put in the comments that there's 10 games to go, isn't there, for a lot of teams, if not all teams. And
yeah, we're all on 36.
There's still 30 points to play. Yeah, there's still 30. Yeah, they're on 36. There's still 30 points to play for. So it just takes one team to go on a good run, and it could be one of those ones near us, couldn't it? I'm not suggesting for 1 minute that we are going to drop out. I think we're strong enough to stay in it, but we've seen things happen in the last few years where teams have, and we've been victims of it ourselves, where we've dropped out of a playoff place or not reached a playoff place on the last day because of the odd goal or the odd point or whatever. So it's still when you see teams like Reading putting runs together like they do, it just gives me a bit of nerves that they could come in and steal a place. But it won't be our place. I think it'll be somebody else's if that does happen.
Yeah, I think the top 5 are staying as the top 5. I think it's that 6th position that's the jeopardy one. I think that's where, as you said, Bolton is sitting there in the minute. Huddersfield are just behind. Reading have been on a decent run, and I think that's the one place that could swap and change. I think the top 5 will stay as they are, and obviously Birmingham are going to win it. We're going to finish 2nd, and then Wycombe 3rd, Wrexham 4th, and Charlton 5th. So,
you've been chatting to Andy.
Me and Andy are on the same train. You know this.
Yeah,
there's only one
the positivity
left.
train. I know.
All the others. There's only me and Andy left on it.
I don't know. I must have missed that train.
It's just me and Andy doing that.
Yeah.
Brilliant. On to Tuesday's results then. So we're recording this on Wednesday evening. Tuesday's results, I mean, I was quite pleased with them, to be honest. Bolton lost in sort of the dying embers of their game, 3-2 away at Bristol Rovers. Reading beat Wrexham, a 10-man Reading. I think Reading were down to 10 men after 75, maybe 80. So they beat Wrexham 2-0. I was praying and hoping that Crawley would get a late equaliser against Charlton, but it never came. But all in all, not a bad evening when we didn't kick a ball, was it?
No.
Seems to do well.
If any of them were going to pick up all 3 points, I don't mind that it's Charlton. I know that it meant that they went above us in the table, but I don't know. There's just something about, I feel more threatened by the others around us than I do about Charlton. So I didn't mind them picking up the 3 if anyone was going to. So that's my stance on that.
Yeah. Yeah, yes, but I kind of agree with you, because if we look at the teams that we've played up there, let's go back to my little graphic. If we look at the teams that we played that are up there, Birmingham, and we matched, probably better than matched Birmingham. I know we lost 2-0 away, but we could have easily gone another way on another day. Okay, Wycombe, we've yet to play them away. They completely ruined us at home. Wrexham, we beat Charlton on both games. I think I don't remember us being too much under threat. And Bolton, we beat 5-0. So I can see why you're saying that. Because they didn't really offer that much, did they? So you can sort of let them have their little point, if you like, or little 3 points, and then we'll kind of get those back eventually, I guess.
Most definitely. We really can't worry about what other teams do and what other results are. We concentrate on ourselves, concentrate on the wins that we can bring in, the points that we can get. Let them fight it out. Let's just concentrate on County and put in a good performance. It was great. I'd love to see them all lose. We can't control it. We can only control what we can control. We need some good results. Next couple of weeks we need some really good results and some good performances, because like we said before, we haven't really seen good performances over the last few weeks. A half here, or a string of passes there. Just a good team performance and a good result would be great.
Yeah, I think that's what we're after against Bolton. And so you say about good results in the next couple of weeks. It's Bolton and Wrexham away. I don't think it could get any. It probably could get harder, but not by much. I don't think in this division. I think that's what we're looking for, is probably more than anything as a performance. I probably agree with you on that one.
But we play well, like you said, Russ. We play well against the teams up there that actually want to play good football. It's when we get dragged, when we get caught into these wrestling matches and shirt pulling and just boring football, we seem to let ourselves drop down. Whereas against teams like that, you need to be better. You need to be bigger and faster and stronger. And we are so much more of a better football team than a lot of the dross that we see around us. When we play the good teams, we rise to it. What's the term? A high tide raises all boats. That's what we need to be.
Nice nautical term there. I like it.
You can use that.
Yeah, write that one down.
Yeah.
I thought I'd heard all of the nautical terms that are ever made, but clearly not. That was a new one. I've never heard that one.
No, it's about us, and I know that it's the old cliche, and all managers talk about when it comes to this part of the season is that concentrate on ourselves, look at the next game. We're not looking at what's going on elsewhere. We're not looking at the game after that. We're concentrating on this game, and that's all. That's all everybody does. So yeah, we said earlier we play better against teams that won't come out, and I think it's although they are tough games against Bolton and Wrexham, is that it's their home game, so they're expected to come out and play football and be on the front foot and stuff like that. And again, I think that suits us more because we'll have a decent following as much as Bolton will allow us to take however many they've allowed us this time because they spat the dummies out. But we'll still have a good following, and we play better against these teams, as Paul said. We are much better against teams that want to play football. And Bolton are what are going to play football. Wrexham will do what Wrexham do. Yeah.
Parky terrorist football, whatever they like. Yeah. But yeah. That's what they call it, don't they? That's what other fans call it, and they've started to adopt it to say, "Oh, hey, Parky terrorist football, still 1-0, isn't it? Or still 2-0, that kind of thing." I think one thing we can all agree on, though, it's getting bloody exciting, isn't it? I love it, me. I love it.
Exactly. And I know we're not supposed to mention it, but as you say, compare this to 6, 7, 8 years ago. It's just absolutely unbelievable. Loving every single minute of it. Every single minute.
Yeah, this is where we should be. This is where we should be playing our trade. Excellent. Moving on. When will Brekie be ready? So this was something that's TFR mentioned we should have a quick discussion on. There's this thing around Brekie? I mean, do we call him Benno? Do we call him Brekie? Or do we call him Anderson? Or what? BB Anderson? I don't know. Anyway, well, that's a discussion for another day. He's clearly in his pre-season at the moment, isn't he? Because of the way that the seasons fall from Icelandic to English. How long is it before he's ready? Or do you even think that he is ready yet? And his cameos have been great, but clearly not ready for starting a first team game yet. I mean, Lauren, I'll come to you on this one. Would you stick him in straight away on Saturday, or do you think it's a bit more still ease him in?
I think the thing is, with the way that we've been playing, we've needed somebody to do something with the chances. Like when we are putting those balls in, just nobody's got the confidence at the moment to give it a go, and Brekie does. I would think, like, as soon as he's ready, he will be put in. That's honestly, like, I think that you have to. Although it's always nice to have impact sub or whatever you want to call it, he can come in second half when everybody's livened up. Like I said in the last one, Charlie has a really good way of hyping up the team at half time. I don't know what he says to them. I don't know what he does to our players, but they come out after half time ready to fire for it. And maybe that works better for him. But I think as soon as he is fit enough, he will be in the team from the beginning, because he actually is just willing to give it a go. So I would chuck him in at the start as soon as he's fit. But I also think that given he's not fit at the moment, giving him giving him as much time as he can is the best thing. I really like him. There's just something about him. He just actually gives it a go. And I don't care whether our football is beautiful or not. I mean, I do. I much prefer watching beautiful football. Of course I do. But the whole thing is we're getting the balls in and absolutely not doing it. Nobody else is giving it a go. They've not got the confidence. They've been missing the shots that they have been taking. And he's young. He's willing to get stuff wrong. He's willing to just give it a shot, right? He knows that, you might get away from the away crowd when you miss. But I think chuck him in as soon as he's fit and for as long as he can play at that given moment. Because I think he's really got something.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Mark Morley, I think, does as well. Nowhere near ready for a start yet. A great impact sub for us, though. Agree with Lauren. Bring him in. Bring him on when the opposition defences are tiring. There was it was the Northampton match where he equalised, wasn't it? And on comms, I think it was Liam Richardson said, there's no point in bringing Brekie Anderson on at the moment because nothing's going up there into the box. Then obviously Brekie came on, scored the equaliser with that great header. He openly admitted, he said it on comms, he went, look, I've got it wrong there, obviously, clearly. My school of thought is, but it's like build it and they will come kind of thing. If you stick Brekie on, he gets into those positions. He's a multi-dimensional striker for me. He's more than a target man. He can play that role, probably a fox in the box as well, that kind of thing. I think once he is ready, stick him in. I think he's going to bag loads for us. I think I can just see him being a future star for us. Really can.
Yeah, that's the thing. If he makes those runs and he gets in those positions, I think the balls will get to him. It always is. It's a case that, like, we saw it with Barry and things like that. Like, they make the team put those balls in, right? Like, everyone's excited. Everyone knows that if you get the ball to him, he will do something with it. Whether it's an actual goal or he just livens it up and he makes people do those extra passes and those extra, maybe more ambitious balls that they might not put in without him on the pitch. But I think honestly, him on the pitch, we get more chances. We give things more of a go. Yeah, I like him.
No, he is. You can see he's a natural goal scorer. And I think that's what we're missing a little bit, is somebody that makes those runs, that gets themselves into that position. I think for me, I'd play him. I would start him, but it all comes down to the formation that's played behind him. Because I don't think he's a target man. I think he plays better as a 2. I think him and Tanto would be a wonderful partnership to kind of see build. But then I think you look at the formation that sits behind him, because I'd play those 2 up and maybe play a 3 in midfield. Somebody to kind of feed balls into him and get those guys down the wides. If we can get to that back 5 again, or that back 3 with 2 wing backs going, and get those balls into the box, get those crosses in, it would be great to see. Sort of, not that I don't like Wootton, I do, but I think Tanto and Benno apparently is what he likes to be called.
Okay, cool.
Pop side knowledge.
He'll get fact checked.
I'm sure. I'm pretty sure that I heard him say that. I think those 2 up front get, with guys playing balls in through the midfield and passes in from the wide sides. I think that those 2 can really create something for us.
Yeah, no, it's exciting, isn't it? It's exciting, definitely. Okay. Moving on, we won't talk about the EP development starting because it's not started. I don't even think the planning permission has been approved yet. I did try to look online today, but I couldn't find it. I've got it somewhere saved. I think Andy in chat as well mentioned he's normally on top of these things. I don't think it's been approved, so we'll cover that more next week. But they didn't say spades would be in the ground in spring, but they did say it would be starting by spring, didn't they? So I don't know if starting is approved. Then you have a period where you get your spades in the ground and stuff. I don't know what that's all about. So we're just going to have to hang fire on that. But I'm getting slightly twitchy about it, I've got to say. But, clocks haven't gone forward yet.
You want to bring it up every week.
I know. Can you tell? I know. It's on the agenda every week, but we've got nothing to talk about. So if you're listening, County, can we have a bit of an update on where the developments are up to? Before we do getting residents and listeners' letters, I've just got a couple of things to say in terms of admin. So our Mike Flynn live event is happening in a couple of weeks. Patrons have been invited to that. So that's all going ahead, and we'll be hosting that, and that will be available to watch as normal afterwards. Full episode to Patreon members, and then a bit of a snippet that we record on the night for everybody else. Don't forget the Edgeley Conservative Club coaches. So have a search for their Eventbrite link. Away travel. Whenever we go away, that's who we travel with. So we've got a partnership with them to get on there. Not sure if Bolton and Wrexham are sold out, but keep on looking. There's plenty more away days to go. And then just to mention, and we'll keep on mentioning it till it happens. I still can't believe they're doing it. Dave Thompson, Steve Cunningham, Jay Redding, and a couple of others are walking from Peterborough to Stockport from Good Friday to Easter Monday. And I've seen Dave Thompson's doing practice walks of like 15 and 20 miles. Practice walks.
Jesus.
That is just mental.
Is he having trouble with his car?
Hey. Andy Bullock says, good work on the Sean Connolly interview. Thank you. No problem. That is there to view as a full episode of Patreon. There was quite a good moment in there, wasn't there, Waggie? Sean Connolly, when he was talking about his mate Warren Feeney.
Yes. Yeah.
So remember that, and then I sent the audio to Warren.
Yeah. So Warren Feeney mentioned Sean Connolly in his interview, didn't he? That we did with him, and then Sean Connolly came back. And so the second part just released the audio because we had issues with the camera. We had guest questions from all the people that were there, and the first question was fixed because it was from Warren Feeney. So that's it's good the question that was asked and good the answer that he came back with. But he likes Warren. It's good Feeney. Fun.
Yeah, they're good mates. Yeah, and weirdly enough, one of Warren Feeney's best mates is Robbie Fowler. It's a weird world that we live in, isn't it? So
it's like
we could be going playing golf with Robbie Fowler at some point. Yeah. Right. listeners letters. So this is we might not do this every week, but if you've got a letter you want to write into us, let's keep it old school. You know, it's PO Box TSBW, something like that. I don't know. Just contact us scarfagarawar.co.uk. If you've got something you want us to read out, the funnier the better. But this one's slightly funny. I get emails from Alan Rowe. Hello, Alan. He doesn't watch live because he can't work out the technology. He says that, but he knows how to email, so he's emailed him, and this is what he's put. Hi, Russ. I can't get on the comments during your podcast, so I'd like to suggest a subject for discussion. We know that players are pulling on shirts, and we see every game more and more without any reaction from referees. I would suggest County commission their shirt supplier to make them tight fit. This would make it difficult for teams to grab and get hold of the shirt. I think that Australian rules teams adopt this, and they don't have any issues with players being fouled by shirt pulling. Just a thought. Keep the crap going with Waggie and Co. Cheers, thank you, Alan. So, the question is, based on, I mean, the Charlton match was really good because it was really physical, the Charlton match. Is there an argument to have the tight-fitting shirts like I think Spurs have had them in the past, and
Italy,
they're really tight ones where you can't grapple them. Italy,
Italy had them for a while, didn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Well, being a male watching the football, I'm not really. It's not gonna make a difference to how I watch the football. How Lauren watches the football might be a different matter with them skin tight shirts on and stuff like that.
Hey, well, you know.
I'm not being sexist, obviously. You know, maybe. You know,
Stop! You're gonna give everyone. You're gonna tell everyone my secret.
Well, yeah, maybe it would. Maybe it would help if that's the case. But if it was to make a difference, then as you just said, maybe Spurs did it for a season. I think Italy have done it for a couple of seasons for their light shirts, but nobody else generally does it. So obviously it can't make that much of a difference. Otherwise, every team would be having skin tight shirts on. Well,
yeah, this is it. And then you get into the argument. Well, not argument, but the don't know what the word is, but you get into this thing where, well, if you do tight shirts, I mean, I'm not going to wear a tight shirt. You know, I've got a bit of a dad bod, so a tight shirt's not going to do me any favors. I'd want a stadium shirt, should we say?
Well, I could get a tight shirt, but then I'd have to iron it with a wok, and then it would be all right. It'd fit well.
You have to iron it with a wok. I don't get. Have I missed? Oh, right. I see. Right. I've got you.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah. See, yeah. Paul knows. He's got dad bod.
I actually have a little bit of experience about these shirts because I used to play rugby back in my younger days.
All right.
At a fairly decent level, and I was playing at the time where we transitioned from the big baggy rugby shirts that you could hold and grab and pull people down to these skin tight shirts where you've literally got to ask your mate to pull it off you. Fortunately, I didn't have the dad bod back then, but it did stop that kind of grappling and that pulling and holding down in tackles where you're desperately trying to get up. So I think it would have an effect. I think it would be a benefit. But just stop grappling, for God's sake. Just stop all of this shirt pulling. You don't need a tight shirt or a baggy shirt or a slim coat or a just off the shoulder number. It doesn't matter. If you just stop buggering about like that and play football, then you don't need to worry about them. It could just be me. I'm just a bit of an old curmudgeon, really, aren't I?
No. Broad range of views. It's fine. It's fine. I'm glad we've managed to actually get one of Alan's listeners' letters onto the show, and we've actually had a pretty good discussion about it. To be fair, because most of the time when he emails me, it's just crap. So I'll hopefully he can do something better again, and we can talk about it. Cheers, Alan. Hope you're listening. Good stuff. Right, shall we do game reses, and then we'll finish up?
Yeah.
reses.
Here we go.
Get in the reses.
Come on, get in reses.
Get in the
Come on,
reses.
get in reses.
That's rubbish. Get in reses.
I'm not having that. Get in reses.
Okay, get in the reses then. So, can I go first? But can I say I have got to get in the reses actually? But I wanted to do a get out of the reses because and it's kind of I know I've twisted it around. I don't know, but it's it's my show, my rules, pretty much. So, no, it's not really. But I wanted to do a get out of the reses. Because, and it's non-football related, although it kind of links into football. But basically, it was good weather over the weekend, wasn't it? It was about 16 degrees up here. It was anyway, Lauren. It was probably 21 down where you are, but it was about 16 here. Yeah. So me and the wife took the chance to go out into Stockport on Friday. Went to a few bars. And went into Stockport on Saturday as well. Obviously, we had the match, and then we was out afterwards. And then on Sunday, went for a walk into Stockport, and it was just lovely. And I just wanted to pull out of the reses that Stockport isn't shit. That it really, really isn't shit. Do you know what I mean? You should see how many like really cool bars there are now, places to go, places to eat, things to do, have nice walks and all that kind of stuff. So, but I think Stockport gets a bit of a bad rep, in terms of. It's shit and this kind of thing, and there's not much to do. But the weekend I've just had, absolutely brilliant. So I wanted to pull Stockport out of the reses.
When did Stockport get put in the reses?
Loads of people slag it. People who live here who don't support county slag it off, don't they? Let's face it.
Right. But nobody's actually ever put it in the reses on the podcast.
No.
Right, okay.
But loads of people have put it in, just not on the podcast. Yeah.
Okay.
Just let me have it, Waggie. I felt so passionate about the weekend. The good weekend that I had with spending it in Stockport. I just thought, do it.
All right, chill, bro.
Yeah, so that's mine. Anyway, I've got to get in the reses actually but we can do it shortly. So, but we need to.
Is that Stockport as well?
It's not putting it back in. Yeah, no, it's not. No. Right. So in that regard, then, shall we go in? I tell you what, Lauren, you go first if you've got one.
All right, I have one. It's not really that football related. This Cambridge University's Wi-Fi can so get in the reses. Oh my god, I feel like I keep half missing out. I feel like I keep freezing. I feel like the quality of my stream right now is horrendous, and it also stops me from being able to go on holiday to watch the matches. I have to go elsewhere to go on holiday to watch these matches, which is, I actually have to go on holiday to watch the matches. It's ridiculous. I can't do anything on this Wi-Fi, and the quality of it is horrendous. And you'd think if anywhere could get Wi-Fi right, it would be here, but it can't. So my Wi-Fi can get in the reses. This university's Wi-Fi can get in the reses.
Fair dues.
enough.
It's fair dues.
Yep.
It's horrendous.
Yeah. I would have expected Cambridge University to have the best Wi-Fi in the world, actually. But you're right. It can get, if it isn't, then it can get in the reses, definitely. Okay,
Definitely.
Paul, you're getting the reses.
I thought she'd frozen again then. I
know I did as well.
Is it just me?
Just
Is it just me that keeps freezing? Right. So my getting the reses is the pop side turnstiles. The fact that now that they've opened all 5 sections to home fans, and that the away fans are now in the railway end, that they only have 6 turnstiles on the pop side. And in fact, against Blackpool, they only had 4 turnstiles open. And we were queuing out the car park, trying to get in before kickoff.
Jesus.
Yeah.
One of the stewards said, it's because you've all turned up at the same time. It's like, no, we're not. We're 20 minutes before kickoff and we're still queuing to get in. There were people walking in 14 minutes into the game. I remember looking up at the clock and thinking, there's people still turning up quarter of an hour into the match, and they've missed so much because they've been sat outside, stuck in that bloody queue. So the pop side, turnstiles not being open on match days when you've got that entire stand open, they can definitely get in the reses for me.
Yeah. I saw that. I saw the Pi Radio. You had a guy from Pi Radio was going up and down the queue, and I was thinking, why is there a massive queue out there? But yeah, it's because of that, isn't it? Gazendo sort of goes on top of that. It says OAP's getting metal detected at the turnstiles as well. Can get in the reses. That's I think probably happens in the pop side as well. I guess
Gazendo got metal detected.
Ooh, I know. Let you pick up.
Oh no, he'll have me at the next home game. He'll definitely have me at the next home game.
Yeah. But that can get in the reses. Yeah, that's just ridiculous. But you got kids. I mean, it's the family stand, and you got kids in a massive queue, and they're getting into the game late. It's not a good look.
Really,
and if that's your first game as well, it can put you off pretty much, can't it? I guess it could put you off.
Yeah. Well, you're missing so much of the game by just standing outside, and regardless of us, as fans turning up all at the same time. Why is there only 4 open and not 6? Open them all up. Get people through them quicker. Organise the queue, because we were all queuing up, and as British people, we do like a queue, but the number of people that was, we're all queuing up waiting to get in, and people are just walking down the outside, pushing the way in, and you're going, this is ruining the experience for it. It's the family stand. You've got all these kids desperate to get in. Be a little bit smarter about it, County. Just be a bit smarter about it.
Yeah.
Old curmudgeon again. Getting the reses.
Fair dues.
I'll put myself in.
From one old curmudgeon to another. Waggie, what are you going with?
So I've got 2. One is mine, and one is, even though he's not here this week, it's obviously the main character, Andy, has asked me to give a get in the reses for him.
Oh, has he?
And
go on then.
It is football related. It's not about microwaves. It's not about shopping. It's actually a football related one. So which one would you like first? Or do you want me to do one of them and you do one, Russ, and then we'll come back to me? What do you want to do?
Yeah, let's do that. You do one, I'll do my get in the reses, which will be dead quick, and then yours as well. But we are. Right, so I get OCD with time, so we are pressing on. So go on.
I know. Well, obviously Andy's not here, so I can just say what Andy's is, and then just leave it. And obviously, he's the main character, even though he's not here. He's got very massive main character syndrome, hasn't he? So, right. So Andy's, I will read this directly. Okay. So people that slag off players with every opportunity just because they already don't like them. There was a chap in front of me at the last home game, and he's put a fire sign, but I'm guessing that's piss boil. He clearly doesn't rate a die. But remember that shot they had in the first half, and a die let it go over his head. He literally did everything right, but because he didn't catch it, a die was totally in the wrong because he let it go out for a goal kick. That said chap said he didn't know it was going out. My response was he jumped and then pulled his arms down, so he clearly does. Point is, just because you don't rate a player, you can't have a go or blame them for everything that isn't their fault. And he did put, does that make sense? So I'm guessing that makes sense. Basically, yeah. I don't remember that actual point, but yeah, if a keeper puts his hands up and then pulls his hands down, he knows it's going over. So why would you catch it and not let it go out for a goal kick? But obviously this guy doesn't like a die, so every little thing that he does, he's picking up on. So can that get in the reses?
Yeah.
Right,
I think that we all agreeing on that one. Yeah.
Well done, Andy. Thank you. Move on. Yours, Russ.
Yeah. Mine's dead quick. Fact owners. Starting to annoy me.
Is that an electric car, or is it hybrid, or is it diesel?
No, it's these it's people, isn't it? I guess. Well, nothing else to say about it. These people who it's almost like the fact is theirs, so you cannot say the fact without it being their fact. And it's just like, yeah, but nobody owns facts. Facts are facts, aren't they? They just exist. Things happen, they exist, and you're allowed to say them if you want to. You know, it's just it's annoying me a bit as I'm doing my rounds.
Do you have an example, or do you want to say?
No,
an example,
I don't want to say an example. There's too many. There's too many, Waggy, to say.
And that's
There's too many to say.
I was trying to pin you down there.
It's not happening. But yeah, but somebody does agree with my my other one, which was Dave Green. I had a walk around the Reses pre-match on Sunday, beautiful Vernon Park, followed by food and drink in the town centre. See what I mean? It's just brilliant. No, nobody needs to go on holiday this year. Just go to Stockport.
There's still water in there with all the shit that we keep throwing in every week.
Yeah, brill. Right, go on then. Do your last one, Waggy.
Well, basically, Mark Clattenburg, he can get in the Reses.
Oh, yes.
It's not. I'm going to go at referees here because he's an ex-referee, and he was commentating, or he was sort of commentating on the Liverpool match last night. And when it came to the penalties, he just spouted some absolute shit. They came to him and he was like, it's gone to penalties. How does it work as a referee? He came out, he said, it's up to the referee to decide which penalties are taken, and we decide which side of the coin is for which end. So he can decide what makes a difference. No, he can't. How can he make a difference? He's got a coin in his hand. He goes, right, that's the cop. That's not the cop. That's the cop. That's not the cop. Right, which one? Who picks first? Right,
heads or tails? Yeah,
heads or tails. Let me flick it up. Goes down. Oh, it's tails. Right, Paris Saint-Germain take the penalties. Where do you want to take them? The opposite end to the cop. Oh, look, the referee's influenced that. No, he fucking hasn't. He's flipped the fucking coin. What on earth? How can you state that it's the referee is influencing which end the penalties are going to be taken? And then he backs it up and goes, well, then he can also influence who's going to take the first penalty. No, he can't, because he said Liverpool, Paris Saint-Germain, and then flips the fucking coin and lands on the floor. How is that the referee influencing how you're going to take penalties? That is just trying to make yourselves look as if you're good. But the flip side of that is maybe you think about, well, how the fuck did he referee games? What was he thinking? Oh, well, if I give Liverpool heads and PSG tails, oh, I'm gonna have a bet on PSG because I'm influenced. Yeah. It's just absolute shite. What a shit comment to come out with. Influence.
Waggie, if we look back at his career, is he the type of referee that catches the coin in his hand as he flicks it and does that?
No, they can't.
And looks underneath his hand and goes, his head.
and then quickly gets his phone out. Yeah, quickly gets his phone out and puts a bet on Bet365.
And then puts the coin behind Virgil van Dijk's ear and goes, it was behind your ear all the time. I watched that. I heard him say those things as well last night, which, I think we can all agree can get in the Reses. Yeah. His voice is weird as well, isn't it? I don't know. His voice doesn't match his what he looks like. He's sort of like I don't know. I can't do that. I'm not going to try and copy, I'm not going to try and do an impression for that. But yeah, his voice wasn't very good either.
It's the fact he can't count down from 3, 2, 1 properly without a big screen having to flash it up behind him. Just count 3, 2. Oh no, wrong Gladiators now.
I was going to say that's wrong show.
Oh shit, he does Gladiators, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, good stuff. All right, last one on getting the reses. As it stands, league tables literally pointless. Wait till the end of the game. Yeah, I suppose it is pointless, but I do enjoy looking at them. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from, though, John. I can see where you're coming from, definitely. Right,
we all do
stuff.
it, though, don't we? If we're not,
yeah, I mean, I look at it all the time.
Game, You do watch other results while they're happening, and then look at the live league table and go, "Ooh, look, ooh," and then you're like, at the end of it, you're like, "Oh, fuck's sake!"
Yeah, yeah. Just that time between all the final scores coming in when the live league table is not quite right as well. That I can get in the reses. Anyway, let's not dwell on them. Right, good stuff. Right, we've done an hour 20, which is a bit longer than we normally do, but that's okay. Paul, have you enjoyed yourself?
Yes.
Maybe he froze. Maybe he's got he's connected to Cambridge's university.
Cambridge Wi-Fi.
Yeah, he's on my Wi-Fi.
I'm just sat outside Lauren's house now, like dialing in. That's all. I've absolutely loved it. Don't worry, Lauren. I'm not. Honestly.
I was going to say 999, Lauren. 999.
Goes and checks outside the door really quick. Don't know why you'd want to be here, honestly.
It's supposed to be a lovely city. No, Russ, I've had a great time. Thank you very much for the invitation. It's been great. It's been a pleasure talking to you all. Cheers, Lauren. Cheers, Waggie.
Cheers.
No worries. Cheers, Lauren. You'll be back very soon, I'm sure.
Hopefully.
If the Wi-Fi
absolutely.
Suffices.
Yeah. Well, I've not got much longer. I'm back home in 2 weeks, so got good old Stockport Wi-Fi back.
Nice. But then you'll be busy with exams, won't you? So we need to work that out. But yeah, you're going to see more of Lauren on this podcast.
Please don't remind me.
Waggie, have you had a good time?
Oh, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'd like to come back again next week, if that's okay.
Fair news. Good stuff. Cheers, everybody. Do like and subscribe and all that good stuff, and rate and review us on all the podcast players. Cheers. Thank you. Lads will be back with the Courtyard Club Call on Monday morning, 6 a.m, and we'll be back next week on Wednesday for the weekly show. Cheers. Thank you, and see you later. And that's a wrap for this episode of the Scarf Bagara War. We hope you enjoyed the podcast. Remember, you can catch us every week on your favourite podcast platform, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Google Podcasts. And a huge thank you to all of our Patreon members. Your contributions help keep the show running to bring the content you love. If you'd like to support the podcast and get access to exclusive special guest episodes, ad-free podcasts, and a monthly giveaway, head over to patreon.com/the Scarf Bagara War. And don't forget to follow us on social media for updates, behind-the-scenes content, and more. You can find us on X, Facebook, and Instagram, all at County Podcast. Lastly, if you enjoyed the show, please leave us a review and share it with your fellow County fans. Your feedback helps us improve and reach more listeners. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on the Scarf Bagara War. Come on, County!